So yeah. Oh, there we go. We've got more people joining now. Yeah, so it's the healer circle today, isn't it? So
Yeah.
what should we start with on the healing? Have you got any areas in particular?
Well,
You
I'm
might
very
try.
emotional this weekend.
I think we all were this weekend. Yeah, the energy and today,
Been a
oh my
bit
God,
mental.
hard
Oof.
work today.
Yeah.
Um,
Solar
yeah.
plexus is killing me. I can't
Mm.
eat anything. My stomach starts going nuts.
Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. So we'll probably have to take a look at that then. Let's just raise up a protection before we all kind of jump into
Yeah.
this today. Mm.
Um,
Claiming back your energetic space. I'm just seeing this like aqua bubble that's presenting more so as a mother arc. So like a teardrop mother arc of aqua plasma just coming up from the core of the earth and just kind of engulfing everyone within this mother arc symbol. Okay. So yeah, just allow yourself to become engulfed within the mother arc. And what's also coming in within this blue aqua teardrop mother arc symbol is layers of amethyst plasma key codes just fusing with the mother arc. To allow that to interface wash through all of your light fields. Realigning the consciousness, and we're just taking it through all of these layers of miasm that's kind of been generated after the weekend and through the weekend. Holding no attachment. Deep inhale, exhale. Allowing that just to separate out. Claim back your space. Focusing in on the heart because it feels like there's a whole pile of chest pains coming up around this as well. Shock and pain, trauma. We're just going to extend that mother arc with the father codes, expand it out around the core of the earth, around the whole of the earth, actually. Allow it to be contained in peace. Allow it to be completely consumed in light. And we're going to take it out into the fractures that are held within the collective field at the moment through the issues over the weekend that have generated high influxes of fear, but also triggered releases of genetic memory, race memory of Armageddon timelines, planetary end times belief systems, which ultimately the narrative that's been spewed out isn't all what it seems to be. A lot of it is kind of exaggerated. I mean, no destruction is okay, but the storylines that are going out are really amplifying the frequency to kind of simulate an Armageddon narrative. That we just want to be very, very, very conscious of, not to fall into the sine wave and not to fall into the patterning, even though we feel the suffering, we feel the fear coming in from all angles, from neighbors, family members, etc. Just holding a bit of extra space with the mother arc there. Diyamal no okorias na ihya krichanea. And claiming back your energy from these incidents. And also now I feel like loads of love coming in, loads of really strong, supportive love that's kind of triggering a sense of excitement and wonder juxtaposed with the kind of opposite polarity spectrum. So we're feeling kind of like multiple things in one go. But we're allowing that frequency to go in, move in, and claim the space. Okay. Let's come back to the present. Healer circle, guys. Let's go for it. Who wants to start? What do we need to look at today?
I'd like anything clear. I'd like to clear anything that's blocking my life force,
Okay.
like energy wise, because yeah,
Okay.
that's what's coming up for me.
So we're looking at the throat chakra there. There's an iron kind of saw presentation that's spinning around at the throat. What's this doing? This seems to be kind of attaching to multiple organs as well. So it's spinning at the throat, and then there's cords coming off and connecting into the organs. Okay. seems to be a kind of a drawing of information from the organs, and it feels like it's kind of trying to decay the organs in the process through this circular saw at the throat. So we need to understand the mechanics of the saw. Mm, interesting. Okay, so that, interestingly enough, is tied into the growl points, and it's looped back through one of the Metatronic reversals at the eighth dimensional level. Um, so it's kind of it's exercising a more angry expression that is being the saw, and that is kind of drawing in your life force from the organs and then kind of creating a reversal in the energy system there. I'm just looking at that start to unwind itself. We've got an opening over the crown coming back in, and now we're looking down to the root chakra. This is all starting to unknot and unlock. So the space between the crown and the root is starting to open out. And then I'm feeling the solar plexus open, and I feel grief. Lots and lots and lots of grief. Just opening and moving to the surface there. Third eye unknotting. Shark in the water. Predatorial energy, diamasmanal quarter, predatorial consciousness. Just bringing in the violet flame into that. Anayogiamasmanal quarter. Okay. And then what I'm seeing the essence is kind of latched into are these kind of webs or nets of kind of memory that hold high amounts of pain, but it also feels intergalactic pain as well as personal pain, um, personal experience pain in this life. And this is all kind of being relayed back through from the back side of the body through the front side of the throat, and then interlocking within this system. So the question is, can we just unhook the saw at the throat to start loosening out the structure? And I feel like we can. Okay, as that's starting to come out, we've just got all these nerve endings popping off over the left side body. And we're going to run gold through that there. The information tied around the throat is also looped around the two big toes as if it's kind of caught. I don't know why that is, but it looks like it's just string attached to it that's compromising the way forward, so to speak. It's almost acting as like a marionette puppet thing, whatever the word is, the handle. So it's controlling the movements forward, and that also makes me feel like it's linked into the myofascial network, and the lymph nodes as well, or the lymphs around the body, particularly down the back side of the legs. Let's just run gold into that. So as we take this thing off at the throat, the nets that hold the memory start to unravel. And then from the nets, we've got balloons coming out of them, as if that was the kind of containment. And then we're just going to pull back the essence that was interlocked around that. Running light into the nervous system, running light into the lymphatic system, running light into all the chakras, actually. Tightness through that left side body is like unreal. It's one of those like deeper ligament pains in the neck down through the back as well, the muscular quarter, which loops into the pelvis. There's a hook into the pelvis there. Okay, so this seems to be nicely coming off actually. And behind that, we've got this gorgeous opal sphere of light with a blue sapphire background. And we're just seeing this phase back into the body. And reclaim essence there. We're going to unlock and loop the transits of the memory back to the morphogenetic fields. Where you were back then is not who you are today. And ultimately, the anger that's being expressed is coming from the pain, it's coming from the grief. So crown unlocking and spinning. A big part of this consciousness that's kind of blocked out, but sat there over the left side head, just starting to move front and center. I'm really going to go in with acceptance there. Acceptance allows it to change. Acceptance and surrender. Nice big breath. The fractured or the pain aspect of this moving back into the chakra system, spinning, 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 processing at the heart, interfacing with the opal light ray, light sphere. Emotional field is clearing. Perfect. Nice movement there. Okay, you feeling good?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. Perfect. Okay. Karen, shall I go with you next because you've raised up stuff at the start?
Yeah, I just want to know if it's my stuff or somebody else's.
I think it's both.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Is that the grief or the pain in the stomach?
bit of both. Yeah,
Yeah. That's both yours and collective. So the collective's been triggered
yeah,
with the solstice
definitely.
energies, and then
Yeah,
what went on in Iran, and then
yeah,
the Israel stuff. So that has triggered stuff, but it's also ignited cellular memory for you,
yeah,
genetic memory. So what that's done is it's brought up the trauma up to the surface to be processed.
right.
So understanding that allows it to kind of shift and start to move through a little bit easier.
Yeah,
But to create support for that, we're just going to go in with golden light. And I'm actually seeing the tree of life appear in front of me, but this time it's appearing as an opalescent tree that's kind of drawing upon abundant resources to kind of create stability within your interdimensional layers. And that's being then relayed out through your light body. And then
yeah,
the whole thing is recoding, and we've quite literally got mathematical equations imprinted in my physical reality, which is quite strange. So yeah, I can see them like around me at the moment. So yeah,
cool.
we're going to just take those equations, bring them in to work as the corrective alignment to your code body.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we'll just unknot that third eye as well whilst we're here. That's kind of like backlogged with fear and self-doubt in order to not be able to receive information that is this mine? Is this theirs? Is it who the fuck does this belong to? You know, so what they're saying to me here is apply trust and faith with intention to guide the answer to come into alignment with you. So when you hold the trust and faith with intention, so repetition of that, the waveforms of the truth will start coming in, and then you'll feel it, know it, trust it, say it. Okay, this is me, but there's an extra layer to this. And sometimes you'll start going through one layer of it. Three more layers might open up after you've done that. So then you're getting deeper and deeper into the core of the information. Okay. Yay. Lovely. Nice one. Okay, Tracy, how you doing, babe? You having a fight with the technology? Do you want to mime it, and then we'll see whether we can do some sign language or things like that. I'm joking. So you tap the screen, and then on the bottom it should come up with a symbol for microphone. Are you on your phone?
Hey.
There you go. Nice one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I was going to say blink twice for yes. Okay. So what's been going on for you, love? Have you got anything coming up that we can work on today?
Um, yeah, the mentioning what's mine and what's somebody else's is
Discernment.
very, yeah.
Okay. So are you having the same issue as Karen and basically the rest of the world as well? What's going on there is obviously we've had these big events that have gone on over the weekend of the solstice. Number one, the solstice is already very high energy anyway. And the light codes that come in trigger up past traumas in order to come back into balance with your light expression. And yeah, so where we're dealing with that is that's going to bring up a whole heap of stuff already, which creates confusion because it dims out our awareness to know what's going on and how much we can see. Then we've also had this extra Iran-Israel fiasco going on there, which has then triggered up a collective raw cellular memory from previous war timelines and previous situations with the energies of these two leaders, and then Trump getting involved as well. That is triggering up more of like an ancient set of wars that that we're also dealing with, that your light body will understand, but your conscious mind maybe won't. And that's going to be the same for everyone else. So the likeliness here, what's going on for you is that you're feeling stuff of your own that's being triggered by stuff of the collective. And as you are sensitive already, the stuff of the collective is going to feel more grand. So it gets confusing to know where you stand within all of this because it's so big. Does that make sense?
It does.
Good. Okay. So if we're looking at an issue for you today, what would be the ideal thing we could look at?
Sovereignty.
Sovereignty. Okay.
A big one.
Yeah, well, definitely a big one. I think that's not a small job, because what with your personal situation that's going on, it's just you're repeatedly claiming back your sovereignty from what's going on around you. To support that, you can call in the divine to come and assist with holding boundaries and holding you to be able to withstand speaking your truth and not being pushed around to other people's ideals. So call in Solar Christ Michael for that. But what I am drawn to is your left breast at the moment. Just some areas of cells that need some life force coming in. So we'll just bring that in. That's just coming around the inside center front crease. It's the only way I could align that because of fashion design. So the center front line on the left top curve of the bust, we're looking around that area. We're just going to start running in golden light into that area. And what's coming up behind that is deep grief and subsequently layers of kind of cellular reversal that we want to just correct out and just bring up to the surface, which then emanates deeper into the heart as well. So we're going to connect the lines of the golden light into those cellular reversals and then into the heart. Allowing the support to come in and the grief just to unlock that's been locked out the back side of the heart and kind of compartmentalized and shut off somewhat in order to function, which is then tied into the root. So we just pop that out, accept it. It's very tight in the chest there. Acceptance, acceptance, acceptance is the key. Acceptance of how you have been feeling, how you've been treated. Acceptance of self. Acceptance of the people. Acceptance of the situation. Acceptance of the history. Acceptance of how the negative have used the people to essentially pull the wool over your eyes or create betrayal and pain as a means to create separation. Accept it. What's done is done. Acceptance of self, acceptance of the histories, acceptance of the grief created. And the pain stored. Nice big healthy inhale, exhale. Acceptance of the resistance to process. Acceptance of the fear to step out of the comfort zone, step out of the pattern. And we're going to just dive right into that puddle of black water and just grab yourself. Pull yourself up and pull yourself out. Accept yourself as the child. And we're going to see that black puddle just dissolve, disintegrate, and shrink. As we've honored a big part of your truth, a big part of your emotion. We're going to bring this back up through the backside of the heart. We're going to bring it back into the heart center. And we're going to relay that loving connection to self back into the cells, where they now spin in the corrected format and begin to blossom into pink pastel roses coming into bloom. There's a particular rose, and it's called Compassion, that's sat in my mum's garden, and I'm just seeing that now. And that corrects the reversal. Yeah, How are you doing there?
I'm good.
Yeah. Nice one. Okay. A couple of messages came in during that. Before we did that Mother Art, just wanted to share before I forget that when we did that Mother Arc at the beginning, I saw myself sat outside Mother Earth, and had my arms stretched all around her, which were pure white light. I then surrounded her in gorgeous rose color. Nice. So it was beautiful for peace and love. Lovely. Yeah, gorgeous that is, Karen. Thank you. Maya or Asa? Who wants to go first? Go on.
Hi.
Hi, love.
There's so many things that's going on.
Uh-huh.
I have a really sore throat since
Mhm.
hours or a few
Mhm.
hours.
Oh, really? Just a
Yeah.
few hours ago? Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's a lot with my boyfriend. I'm confusion. It's confusion. Like, yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Mm. Have you been shouting a lot with him? Just out of curiosity.
No, we haven't even spoken
Spoken. Okay.
until today.
Do you
So
feel like this might be something to do with things that haven't been said and
I know
avoiding communication?
I know I've had this issue my whole life with
Mm.
picking up, not telling, because
Yeah. I know. Yeah. So I feel like this is another repercussion of that, in which it's asking you to actually just talk.
Yeah.
And I think I've said this to you both, actually. It is about the communication, to understand each other. This is the important thing. Yeah, it needs to be conversed and talked out to understand where each other are coming from, and that part is fucking scary, because nobody wants to be kind of hurt, number one, and that makes it difficult to become vulnerable. And then if we're not heard in the way that we want to be heard, that makes us angry. So then it becomes a choice of like, oh well, sometimes it's easier just not to say anything, and then things never get said, never get done, and then never get resolved, and then we aren't moving forwards in our pathway. I used to absolutely hate having to speak to my partner about difficult things, and now I absolutely love it, because I know that by the end of it, when I've worked with the intention, everything is going to be cleared and everything is going to feel so much better afterwards, because we've come to a resolution or your truth has been expressed. And that's what creates the alchemy, because you run through the alchemy of truth, which then starts to dissolve, resolve, and update the field and his understanding. But it's all about the intention, really. So depending on how you want to kind of communicate with it. It could be beneficial that we do maybe like a session all together, or I see him again soon as well. But there's always two parts of the story with this.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and I think it's about also meeting each other halfway on their terms to push you out of your comfort zone and to push him out of his comfort zone to actually get you guys trying. The difficult part is to get the trying to happen. I think at the start of it.
No, it's like I'm closed, you know, like I
Mm.
don't even know, like I don't even feel for him right now. Like it's been going on for too long, this fighting. It's like I'm exhausted and I'm starting to be really confused.
Okay.
You
When
know,
I'm seeing you on Monday, aren't I?
yes.
Do you want to get him in to see me beforehand so I understand where he's going to as well?
Yeah.
He's going away tomorrow, so I don't know if
Okay.
I can ask him, but he's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to.
It's no worries. Yeah, I mean, even afterwards as well. So is he going? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just see how it goes. But obviously, when I kind of understand what's going on with you,
Mm.
on a one-to-one, then it becomes easier for me to.
Yeah.
It's not the right time or place to open your dirty laundry in the session here today. But yeah, if this thing that's going on is about not communicating, not expressing yourself, and not being in your truth.
Mhm.
So the more you're holding back, the more it's going to like congeal and get worse.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's just a case of allowing yourself. In the meantime, why don't you sit there and journal and write everything down that's kind of going on with your feelings so you understand yourself? Because the
Yeah.
confusion is only going to kind of warp it. But also with the confusion, we've got that extra layer of what's going on in the collective field at the moment, which is chaos. And there's a lot of pain there as well. So that is also making it harder to intuit and to understand and to process. So there's numerous factors going on behind that. So what I'd say until I do see you is journal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Get that moving forwards. Yeah. Okay. There is a symbol code coming in, and it is the Dove of Peace holding an apple in its mouth. Not sure the significance of the apple other than the nutrients, and sometimes the kind of the knowledge and the wisdom. But we're just going to bring that into the throat as well. Allow that to expand and open. That feels really good, actually. Surrendering into it. Allowing the throat to open up. All of the muscles, all of the cells, all of the tightness in the inflammation. Allow all that tightness just to unlock over the back of the head, all the way down through the backside neck, front side neck, going down into the sternum. The sternum is the area that's really painful here. Okay, there's a polarity conflict within the sternum, which is affecting the skeletal system, which is on one side, you want the love and you want to be connected, you want to be loved, you want to experience all of that. But the other side is the extreme fear about being vulnerable. So there's a conflict of communication, there's a conflict of interest going on within the sternum, which is the heart, basically. But it's the skeletal layer of the heart, and that's impacting all of the bones and the ability to kind of process forwards. It's actually making the chest concave slightly. So dip inwards, and we want to kind of just open that out, recognizing the pattern and recognizing the fear levels behind that. Really is uncomfortable in the muscles in the back as well. But it's been seen, and it cannot be unseen. or just allow it to rise up, express, be itself. Allow the part of you that wants to be loved to override the part that is fearful of being loved or the fearful of being vulnerable. So this oppositional conflict is really interesting. It's I recognize it very well. It's creating like a gridlock in your ability to move forwards.
Mhm.
Yeah. Fear of partnerships, fear of moving forwards, fear of having negative things done towards you, and fear of self doing negative things towards others. And I don't think that's the case for you, but it is past memory. Feels like there's a level of manipulation within there, not from you, but from the negative forces that are kind of using the fear to manipulate. So it may go into one extreme versus the other, but never really leaves your mental field. It doesn't ever get applied into physical reality. It just kind of sits there and it toys with your mind.
Mhm.
And then that creates a level of gridlock and blockage to move forward. So ultimately, it's a mental construct that has you kind of looped into a state of stagnation and gridlock where you're unable to move forwards there.
Mm.
It's just, are you able to kind of step forward through the threshold and not be manipulated or controlled by it? You know?
Mhm.
Okay. So we've seen it, brought it up to the surface. Let's just put love into that now. And we're just going to dissolve, disintegrate, and integrate. Releasing anxiety. Claiming back your right to move forwards. And we're just going to build a pathway through this threshold now. Big old block going on there, love. Okay. Let's take it out. We've got movement. It's like a fear of love within that as well. Got a pulsating pain under the right foot as well. We're just going to open that out and reconnect that to the core of the earth. Allow the earth core to rise up. Inhale, exhale. Recirculate back through the heart. Perfect. Okay. How are you doing?
Good.
A
I
bit
feel,
better?
yeah, I feel a little bit more spacious.
Good. Nice one. Okay. Go on, Dawn.
Thank you.
I just want to share something that I found useful, Asa, which you might find useful, is that if I've got something difficult or a story going in my head that whether it's true or not, I go to my partner and I say the story I'm telling myself right now is this, and then I say it, and I say, well, I don't know if it's true or not, but I want you to share it, and that sort of opens dialogue, and often my partner will go, no, nothing like that at all. and then they bring in their perspective, and then we can have like a discussion about it. Because sometimes I find if it just keeps going round and round and round the head and never comes out through the mouth, like just share, this is what's going on in my head. I don't know if it's true or not, but this is the story I'm telling myself. And I find that really helps break.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, yeah, I love that. That's exactly what the healing circle is all about. I really, really cherish that. And Karen, you also said that you saw a quartz crystal placed in the center of the heart. Yeah, for Asa there. Okay, Maya, tell me what's good.
They all have been so strong. But even though I followed where you were when you were talking, I had this similar part where I saw my where I'm existing right now came up at the same time where I'm stuck within those blockages we were working on. And for me, it's the farm I'm living on is finally, after like 12 years, starting to become my dream. I saw it when I came here the first time, and because of life in all sorts of wise, and now we are starting to like go into a dream with everything that is joyful, relaxed, and abundant for us. And at the same time, there is a woman on this farm that rent the space for the horses and stuff, and she's not nice. She's more of like a reptilian, and all she's greedy, and she wants everything for her own. And then she likes let everybody else come into the space that belongs to the farm. And right now they have put up huge tents because she started a project to work with the most exclusive part of Stockholm where all the rich people live and all the programs exist and all that. She has started to cooperate with the most expensive riding school in Sweden, and they are here for like the entire summer to do summer camps. And so she put up tents around us where these kids are going to run around. And we live really, really far out. And it's almost, this is the place where you have to stand 7 months a year to just embrace this time that is now. And it's worth it because it is paradise. But at this, I feel it's a collective. It's not just with me. And when you're so close to reach to the point where you're like expanding in joy, and now fragments come in and like in the face at the same time that I trust. It's obviously that on my outside, when I open my eyes, it looks like what it looks like for 3 months ago. She were on her way away from here. And now it's the opposite. And that's like, oh, when you said these things would work with acceptance, and all I could see was this farm and her. And I was like, okay, do I have acceptance for this? Oh, no, I don't.
Okay.
No, I do not have acceptance for this. It's very clear.
Okay.
And I
feel
don't
like
know if it's supposed to, if it's I can also feel that it's up to me now to put my foot down and like say no to compromises when something is obviously from the dark greedy side. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like another boundary case, a boundary situation. But there's always, what I'm also being told is the more the light moves in, the more that you anchor and ground the light, the more expanding that's going to go out. And that's going to then phase out the difficulties. The only challenge is that when that happens, they tend to get more aggressive. So working with intention to resolve, she's not going to have the awareness of intention. So, excuse me, sorry, awareness of intention and things like that. So use it to your advantage. It can be done in a way where it's all everyone's happy. And if that results in you expanding your light so much, or you working to anchor as much light as you can, that will then gradually squeeze them out. It's not like in a forceful way, it's just because their vibration won't match what's going on there.
Yeah, and it's also quite interesting because the people who owns all the land around here is quite much. They have a lot of money and they live in Stockholm. There's a place called Djurgården where the richest people live, and they live there and they own the amusement parks and stuff, and they own this farm. But 50% of the people that owns it, they still have this because they heritaged it from the family line, and they have like a heart connection for the place. They want the place to bloom and to be loved, and I feel that that's where we come in, because I know there's a big community that wants to like bloom around us, and I don't want that light to shine on me for that. I want everybody to be a part of it as a whole. But she's the opposite to that, and
Okay.
yeah.
So, yeah, again, standing your ground and boundary. I keep on being shown the perimeters of your land. So, do you know what land is actually yours versus what land is hers?
Not really.
Can you find that out and get maybe the blueprint and say, look, you're kind of crossing over the boundary here?
Well, the thing is that we are in the middle of all the area that she took over, because we the heart center.
Right, okay. So there needs to be a very clear definition of boundary and what you're allowing and what you don't allow. So, and that may be that you go above to the landlords and say, instead of going directly to the person, if you don't want to eat shit from her, then you go directly to the landlords and say, this is going on around me, this is disturbing my peace, it's disturbing my time here, and my work, because she's got children running all over the place and they're coming in and out, and she's got horses galloping, and I didn't consent to this.
The horses, I love the horses.
I mean, I love the horses as well, but it's the no consent kinds of things that I don't love within this situation. It's and that would be the thing that you would raise if she's within her perimeter. That's one thing, but if she's crossing over all of your space, for you to then have to go through her land to get out because she's set up all of these tents and set up all of these kids running all over the place, and that's another thing. So it's about kind of authorizing your boundary within this and going above her to the landlord and knowing what your rights are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I started doing that.
Oh, good. Okay. So
and also we have neighbors that don't like either what's going on, but they newly moved in, so they don't know much about the culture on the farm.
Okay.
And she made her the supplant, do you call it in English, in the company for the economy. So when I heard that today, I was like, oh, she bought you, of course.
Yeah. Okay. That's very interesting. I mean, yeah, you're just going to have to go to your landlord about this one, and it is ultimately a lesson in boundaries, and being able to kind of stand in your truth within that and say, you know what, I didn't consent to this.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's actually all about boundaries. I think the last 5 years has been about boundaries. How much can you train on it? It's like you need to train on it for like everything right now.
Yeah, well, it's until you learn your worth, really, isn't it? Because your worth will be shown through how much boundary you're holding.
Yeah.
And what you're allowing people to get away with that you don't consent to and that you do consent to. So,
Yes.
that's the whole thing. It's just a matter of perspective. Then you've got to put it into place. So, but yeah, Let me know how it goes. I'm seeing you Wednesday anyway, so are you going to get it done before Wednesday?
Or I'm going to.
Are you going to get this done before Wednesday? Go to the landlord?
I
Not to put you on the
probably
spot.
probably because I have my shaman group here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and
Okay.
that can
Nice
be
one.
interesting with all these kids running around.
Are they okay? Yeah. We won't go into what could potentially go down there. It could be very interesting. You might end up training all the kids to be shamans, and that would be very fun. They might
Yeah.
find that more interesting, and then get the horses involved as well.
Yes.
So there's always something, always something positive that could come from something.
Yeah.
But yeah, on that note, guys, that was a really lovely session today. Thank you all so much for participating, joining, and sharing as well. I love that the most. It was really, really great. Where we
Thank
find
you.
solutions within that. So yeah, loads of love. I think we've got another one on Friday because I'm having to kind of put everything in this month over the 2 weeks. So I think it's the grid session on
I
Friday.
think it's grid work Friday.
Yeah.
What time is it? 7?
6 p.m.
And
So
7.
you're 7, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Well,
Looking
maybe I
forward
can
to it.
do that.
Yeah. All right then, my loves.
We'll do some grid work for you, Maya.
Sorry.
Anchor some light
We'll
onto
do
your
some
grid.
grid work for you.
Yeah. Perfect. All right then, guys. Loads of love to you. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.